right, everybody, welcome back to PO's Place. As you can see, we got a totally different setup and a totally new show, a totally new format. And in case you guys can't tell, welcome to Kayfabe and Chill. If you've already watched a couple of my videos and y'all are already sick of my voice, I was like, you know what? I want to bring a couple of my homies and from the group chat that we have, our wrestling group chat, and just chat, all things wrestling, all things music, movies, whatever we just feel like talking about, because we be talking about anything and everything over there. I want to introduce a man who you don't just have to worry about hiding your girl from. You got to worry about hiding your mother too. Matter of fact, hide your girl's mother too.
I know
I'm
that's
super excited to introduce my tag team partner, the Cougar connoisseur, Ephraim.
What's up, guys? How's
Yeah.
it going?
We're
We
getting
got the little, the shape, the mega power shape.
Nah. His name is iPhone. It's iPhone 2. It ain't
iPhone
Ephraim.
2, not even 1.
I didn't even fix that either. That's a good call out. We'll fix that next podcast.
And the next person that I want to introduce is a guy who I've met and known for damn near 5 years now, which is crazy to think about. The San Antonio Romeo. I don't know. I just came up with that nickname.
I like that. I like that
That
nickname.
was a good one.
That's
This
a good
man,
one.
this man be ranting and raving. Now I'm introducing the third man of the KNC faction, my home skillet biscuit, Ray Carter. What's up, man?
What's up? It feels good to be here, man. I know we've talked about this before and bring it back to reality. Awesome.
This is gonna be fun. It's gonna be super fun.
Ooh, I'm super excited. So with that being said, y'all, Ephraim, you said you mentioned right before we started recording, you got somewhere you want to go with this, like off the jump.
I don't know. Lately, these AEW stars is kind of crazy. They've been getting entitled for no reason. Like, there's no point. Like, you guys have. I would just focus on your craft, what you're doing, focus on your side, because your wrestling is a different product than what we've been watching WWE. It's a whole different product. Like, I don't know why y'all are being so bitter with each other. It's a
Yeah,
product.
like I think MJF, he even talks about like, yeah, I watch WWE. Like I'm a wrestler. I want to perfect my craft. I do all that. I watch the other competition. Just leave it like that. But
Yeah,
you know the fans. You know the fans.
I remember there was a clip of MJF just saying I think it was Sports Illustrated or one of those publications asked him like, what do you think of the John Cena heel turn? And he said it in like the slickest, most MJF way possible, where he was like,
if you are in the world of professional wrestling, if you are a top guy and you don't watch as much or consume as much professional wrestling as you possibly can you call yourself a student of the game? Can you say you're giving your best foot forward? Can you claim to be one of the best in the sport? In my opinion, no, you absolutely cannot. But yeah, dude, it was awesome.
Okay,
It was fucking awesome.
right. And I'm like, yeah, MJF. I think that's a great, actually cool little conversation to start off this whole thing off with, is in terms of tribalism and the fans and WWE. I always find me just getting into wrestling, like 3 years ago, and sort of catching up on the history and the vibe and like what is taboo and what, like all the terminology and all this stuff. Yeah, the tribalism is a real thing with like WWE versus AEW, and back in the day it was what was it, WCW and WWE and all this
You
stuff.
even had like the TNA war versus WWE during when we were kids. Well, what I think that was like 2009 to 10. The whole AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. Like I remember walking down the street. I mean, not even walking down the street. Like walking in class, the little hallways. I see kids wearing TNA shirts, and it was like, "What? You're a TNA fan?" Even my head was like, "What? Like that's a thing? Y'all watch that?" I mean, as I get older, I grew up to love more than just one style of wrestling. But like during that time, I was like, what? Like I didn't realize there was a big war until this like guy explained it to me fully, and he was just like, yeah, man, like we don't watch WWE. It's not that product that we like. It's just very kiddish. And I was like, interesting. And then once I heard that, I was like, okay, I'll check out some WWE. And that's like around the time Jeff Hardy like had trouble with his DOI or his drinking problem or his drugs, whatever Jeff Hardy was going through during that time. He left and debuted in TNA. And I remember that. He climbed that cage, like the Elimination Chamber, just sat up there. And ever since that then, I've been watching TNA. And it's been crazy to see it.
Word, yeah. Okay, actually, I would love to start off with that. Is like, if starting from like the core basics, because we're the like I'm fairly new. I still think of myself as new 3 years ago because some people are like lifers, like they're like generational fans, like
For life.
they're yeah, man, for
There you
their
go.
dads passed on their with their dad's favorite wrestlers, and yep, there you go. So real quick, just like as an intro for anybody that's like sort of like just kind of seeing wrestling like pass through their timeline, they're like interested. Like, what is you mentioned like the styles? WWE has a different style of programming. AEW's got a different style of programming. We don't have to run through all the promotions, but sort of how would you describe like the like what is the reason for the tribalism and like why is it so different?
I think it's more than just like what you prefer, and I think people they hold that the preference to the heart. It's a weird way to say it. They hold all that to their heart because that's what makes them who they are as a wrestling fan. I mean, that's the way I've always looked at it. Like, it's like when you get attached to a certain wrestler, you kind of like model yourself after them. Like, you want to be that wrestler. You want to be who they are. And I think with a lot of wrestling fans that they watch a certain product, they're like, no, that's the right product. That's what I should be watching. That's what I should be doing. That's something I should like. What wrestler said that? I think it was Omega or something like that. Omega was even saying that. He's like, I I understand what they're doing. I just like my style. It's what I prefer. I think Ospreay said that too when he was doing it with that Chris Van Vliet. Shout out to Chris Van Vliet if you ever watches this podcast. But he even said that to Ospreay, and Ospreay's like, "Look, man, like they do good stuff over there. I don't disrespect it. Like, I mean, I know the things he said about Triple H, but as a performer, he understands what they do. And I think with styling of TNA during that time, it was very fast paced. It was very quick. It was very on it. I mean, AJ Styles, you had Samoa Joe, you had Jeff Jarrett, you had a lot of I wouldn't say a lot of ex-WWE guys coming in. There's a good broom period when they did come in, like Angle, Booker T, stuff like that. But like they even made their own product, but all their style of wrestling was very fast paced. Now, somebody like I said, we have a lot of wrestling fans have their own opinions about a lot of things. So me saying this could be wrong, but during that time, TNA was really fast paced, while WWE was very more. I don't want to say story driven because it's not as good a story driven as it was today as in this era as it was back in 09 and 010. Because during that time was like the Nexus and shoot, I think more WWE style. It's really hard to put into words. More ruthless aggression is the best way to put it. There's a nod to John Cena right there, but more ruthless aggression, I would say, in there during that 05 to 2008, 9. It's been a while. I need to catch up on that stuff again.
That's what this podcast is for, man. We're gonna run through we're gonna do some retro watches and retrospectives and all that stuff. But yeah, sorry, Ray, were you gonna add some?
One thing I want to say to the people watching is the Cougar Connoisseur here. He has been watching wrestling for quite some time. I'm just like Chesco. I barely got into it when Royal Rumble came down to San Antonio. That's when I first started getting into it. I remember texting Ephraim after watching the Rumble. I was like, yo, like I think
what's next?
Yeah, I'm like, what's next? Like, what's going on? And then he was like, you finally come over to the WWE side. I was like, my bad, bro. Sorry it took so long.
And
Beautiful.
like even then, like I'm very old school. I've been watching it since Eddie Guerrero was wrestling. Like I remember watching Eddie's last match, and then I remember watching the whole Chris Benoit tragedy on live TV. Being a kid going to the taco shop to get tacos up the street from his grandma's house. So like Chris Benoit did that, and then watching Chris Benoit's last ever like interaction with CM Punk for the ECW title, like his last time on TV ever. I'm very like, whoa, I'm what the kids say? I'm Unk status now.
Unk status,
you're OG.
I'm OG, yeah.
You're up there,
wrestling.
yeah.
Your Theo status now.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is with wrestling.
We're gonna like defer to you as like our encyclopedia whenever we need like quick
historian.
Our historian.
Our historian.
There was a girl, right? She used to come up to me. She goes, "What's going on in wrestling?" I'll explain everything to her. She's like, "How do you remember all this?" I go, "I don't know. I just kind of watch it. It just sticks." I go, "I wish I was like that good in school because I would have stayed in school."
I know. Quiz him right now. Quiz him on anything.
Quiz me. Go ahead.
All right. February 2, 2005. What was the main event of SmackDown?
2005 is probably something with Eddie or Kurt.
Oh, jeez. He actually gave me like a probably reasonable answer.
Eddie, Kurt, Fit Finley, or Booker T. Because during that time, I think who was world champion during that? Oh, I think actually it wasn't the world championship. I think it was the WWE title. I'm not too sure. I had to like refresh my memory on it.
I'm
I
not
haven't
too
watched old
sure.
SmackDown.
I got one.
What?
I got one. Who was the first person to go one-on-one with The Undertaker?
Ooh. See, I'm okay. Look, y'all, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. I'm not the biggest Taker fan. I am not. Look, okay, hear me out.
Whoa.
Hear me out. Hear me out. I think he's very intimidating. Once you Ray, come back. Wait a minute. Where you going?
What?
Man,
Listen,
come back over here with that muscle
li-
tank.
I know.
Ooh,
Listen,
get this bum out of here. Get this bum out of here.
Damn, we
listen.
don't even make it past the episode 1.
I know. A bunch of hot
Shit.
takes already. People are like, "What? You don't think Undertaker?" No, I think he's a great performer. I think he's great. He puts on great matches. When I was call it, there's a part. I think he's very intimidating. I think he's very scary. When that bell hits, I get chills. It's the Undertaker. I'm gonna be scared, like Randy Orton is when he saw him at WrestleMania. That meme, he's like, "Oh crap!" That's how I felt with Taker. But as I got older, I mean, I was never a big Taker fan. I've always liked the opposite characters. I've always liked wrestlers like Edge, CM Punk. The I guess the ones that were always the anti-hero to the hero. The ones that always made the hero think of another option, another angle. I've always liked wrestlers like that. Taker was a supernatural character. It's like the Fiend. Like it's hard for me to like supernatural characters in WWE.
Coming back to sort of like the seat of this whole conversation is like the styles is, yeah, WWE, you get these very, and you get these with AEW too. You mentioned Tony Storm, but in terms of like the more surrealistic characters, and I feel like that is definitely the emphasis of WWE is like how can we, like it's called sports entertainment for a reason, is that
Right.
we'll throw in like the sports is like the athleticism of, yeah, like jumping over the rope and doing all this stuff, but it really is the week to week storytelling. Sometimes there are flaws in that for sure. It can sometimes drag. It's all in the pacing and the booking and all that. But yeah, that's interesting with Undertaker. I've grown up with endless clips of just the boom, right?
The
And
eye rolling and
the
everything.
eye rolling and everything. So I am definitely, it's so fascinating hearing that because I'm hearing someone who is like absorbing it in real time, whereas me, I'm already coming in with like the preconceived notion of like,
That
I'm gonna get,
respect factor.
yeah, like aura, oh shit, this is the
Yeah.
legend being written. I'm
No,
like
no,
my buddy, I have a buddy who, he hasn't been into WWE for a while. And we recently watched Elimination Chamber at my place. Actually, he fucking broke my chair from how hype he was from the Cena heel turn. But he kind of uh left the WWE fandom at a time where like Cody was still a heel, Drew McIntyre was still not established, and all this stuff. So we're watching Elimination Chamber match, and he's kind of like, "Oh shit, CM Punk is back. Oh shit, like Drew McIntyre." Like I was explaining to him, like, yeah, he's kind of like a big bad now. Like he's like top 3, 4 heel in the business right now, and in the company. He's like, oh, whatever. Like, oh, I thought of him as a joke. He got out very quickly, and he's like, yeah, that's about right. And then he goes, oh shit, people are rooting for Cody now. What? Like Cody's. So I go through the whole spiel of like AEW and all this.
And it's funny too because they're like that's a lot. I'm like, yeah, try being us, explaining it to y'all.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's a hard thing.
I tried explaining the whole, I got into the whole like, oh, finish the story he's doing for his dad, and I instantly felt like the whatever the poster boy for the term mansplaining, even though he's another dude, but I'm just like, I just feel like yeah, oh, you know what it is? You know that meme of the guy like whispering to his girlfriend and he's like looking all intense, like, yeah, dude, like, so it's this, all that. Like, I'm just
Oh yeah,
going off, and he's probably just like, there's a lot of plot. There's a
you
lot
missed
of
like so much.
years,
Because
years.
when did speaking of that, when did Cody return? 38, right? Was 38, if I
38,
remember
yeah.
correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it in Arlington that year? I think it was, right?
Yeah, it was in Dallas. Because
Yeah,
that
it
big,
was.
I remember that big star behind Cody.
Yeah.
I think what's crazy too is hearing the rumors during that time, because in that time frame, AEW was such that juggernaut. It was taking Adam Cole, it was taking Daniel Bryan, it was taking all these big WWE ex WWE guys, and it was like, oh, you got Adam Cole. Like during that time, Adam Cole was my favorite wrestler of all time. Like I
Baby.
literally thought NXT going, yeah, baby. I even have a figure right here in my room. Like I was a big I'm still a big Adam Cole fan. Like I know he just won the North American title. I mean, not the North American title. The what was it? The
Oh,
what
it,
championship did he win?
it was
The
something.
TNT title.
There you
TNT
go.
title, I think. But yeah, I remember that. So I was hearing Cody rumbling coming back, and I was hoping that they'll make him a big star like they did, and I'm happy that he did because I mean I believe in Cody being a champion since day one. Shit,
Damn.
like I had Cody with the WWE Championship in like SmackDown versus Raw 2009, 2008. Like he was my main champ. Like I had him as the WWE champion.
He saw
Like
the vision.
I did see the vision being Cody. Like
Indeed.
everybody was like, oh, Cody's never gonna do it, and I was like, look at me now. No one believed me.
They called me a madman.
They did. I was like, oh my god. Because
It's
everyone was like,
funny.
"What's up,
It's
go?"
funny because like here we love Cody, right? I think we could all agree with that. I have a coworker and that dude just hates everything about
Oh,
Cody. I'm like, dang, bro. He's like, he sucks as champion. His family sucks.
he's a
He
nepo
says like,
baby.
yeah, like they said
Yeah.
like a whole bunch of lists. I'm like, bro, like dang, it's that deep, huh?
What's the craziness about it too is that I think he gets a lot of hate from like I don't want to say it's just one certain fan base, but like AEW fans are the most annoying fans out there. I'm not trying to start a war or anything like that. We're not big
Nah,
enough to start a war.
you gave him the flint and steel.
Fires a gun.
You
I'm
gave him
not
the
trying to
flint
start
and
a
steel
war.
to do it.
But no, he's a man that he can wrestle. He can cut that promo. He can be the top guy. I just think people want a certain vision of Cody that they're not going to get. They want him to turn Homelander Cody, and it's something that I feel like we'll get eventually. But Cody, with this whole new Cena thing, and Cena being a heel, Cody's going to be a babyface for quite a bit, and I don't think no one wants that. I think they want him to be super Homelander like, and it's just not in Cody's character right now. He's the main poster boy of the business, and we need that one good guy.
We need it, yeah, man, because it's from what I can tell, it's very much a thing. Like, funny enough, and let's get right into it. WrestleMania 41 card.
Oh yeah.
Here, I'm
Ooh.
gonna share my screen real quick. Uh,
See, all this talk that we've been doing, and he never answered my question. So like,
oh, oh,
What was the question? I totally forgot about the question. I'm gonna be
it was
honest.
who was the first person to go one on one with the Undertaker?
Ooh, shoot. I know it was that Survivor Series when he made. I think it was Hogan, wasn't it?
You're the
I could be. I
historian.
could. No. Okay. So look, I know my aggression. I know my attitude era. Anything from the Golden Age, I'm 50-50 about, and I'm 100% honest about that one.
All right, all right. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
Like, I'll go watch it, but I'm like, ew. Only one I'll probably watch is Bret the Hitman Hart, if I'm being honest.
hey, okay, okay.
Bret, Bret's my favorite.
I really wanna watch some Bret the Hitman. You know what? Hold on, real quick. Before we get into this, are you guys able to see the picture on the screen right now? It's just like
Yeah.
the card of Mania 41. Real quick.
Let me see.
Oh,
Okay,
oh,
I
you're
got
on
it.
the phone, right? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, my computer's not set up
Um,
for it now.
super quickly, just go over who is your favorite wrestler and super quick why.
Barry, and go first with this one.
All right, yeah, I'll go first.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a big
Cool.
Eddie Guerrero fan. Eddie Guerrero, man, that dude. Of course, the tragic story of like, he went through some addiction. Unfortunately, he passed. But like, I don't know that his charisma, his character, like we see it in Dominic, who takes inspiration from Eddie. Just like something about him. Plus, a little Latin culture, gotta represent. So, for me, it was Eddie.
He's so good in
Um,
ring too. He
that's good.
incredible in ring. Yeah.
You should definitely watch The Dark Side of the Ring, Ray. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but
I've
definitely
only
that.
seen clips, like little bit of clips here and there.
I'll let you borrow my Hulu so you can watch it. It's pretty good.
Bet, bet.
My
Yeah.
favorite wrestler, it varies from who I go from, but growing up, I was a big Edge kid. I loved Rated R Superstar, or Cope as people like to call him nowadays.
Cope, actually,
Hey.
sir, it's
Cope,
Cope.
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 Big Edge fan. I grew up watching him. He was just different. I like my first interactions when he cashed in on John Cena at the New Year's Revolution, I believe.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, so I've always loved Edge. I loved Edge and Christian growing up. I love the Hardys. But Edge has always been my favorite, my guy. I tried to buy his T-shirt from him when I went to my first ever Raw show. Told me they didn't have it. They couldn't sell it to kids because it said the Rated R Superstar and had like a lady, her legs popped out on it. Couldn't buy it.
Okay.
Yeah. So ever since that day, Edge has been my goat.
A true heel.
Yeah, always. The heel character has always been my thing, man. I like it. I love it.
I love it. You know, one of these days we're gonna have to do an episode where we just fully just discuss, like, just go full nerd out on like babyface, heel, all those terms, who are the best, who are the worst, who stuck out to all this stuff. So man, this is super exciting. As for me, real quickly, my GOAT has to be HBK, the showstopper, Mr.
Wow.
WrestleMania. I think the in-ring abilities, obviously, people have said frontwards and backwards, just like how incredible he is. But to me, I love the arc his career has taken in terms of like he starts off being the super rebellious dickhead that everyone hates, and he politics his way through everything, the clique, all this stuff, and everyone hates him, the screw job and the addictions and the pills and the scandals and whatnot. And that kind of works for that first part of his career because he's sort of like this heel disguised as a baby face almost. Like everyone is trying to he has the boyhood dream and all these storylines that sort of feed into him being a baby face, but in backstage he's a heel. But then he retires, has that back injury, comes back and has this whole resurgence where he's like, yeah, okay, I'm down to work now. Let's just tell stories. And he ends up, as great as his first run is, people argue that his second run's better. And because of like the different attributes that he's able to bring now, and sure the in-ring ability may be a little bit decreased, but he sort of hits his second prime. And I don't know, I love that sort of like the when the storyline, when real life kind of feeds into the storylines, and at that point, they're really feeding into the whole like, is he who he used to be kind of deal. A lot of what we see now with Punk is like, oh, okay, old man Punk, let's see if you don't get injured this time around, and he puts on a banger, and all this stuff. So, and the history with, so yeah, that HBK would probably be my boy. Now coming back to what we were going to talk about in the first place, Mania 41.
Oh, there it
We
goes.
are,
Popped up in me.
y'all, we are like a week and a half from it,
Yeah,
which
a week and a
is
half.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think I just saw like 10 days from now.
it doesn't it does not feel like that for me. It feels like, oh shit, we're coming. Obviously, like we're building up to it, and there's been crazy segments, but I'm like, oh, it does the general. I feel like feeling around this build this year has been like it's not 40, which is
Yeah,
fine. Like 40 was like,
yeah.
every 10 years it's gonna be like a big show, but also like that particularly last year was just crazy. You had The Rock
Pete,
and the whole. Mm.
Cinema.
40,
And
40 was a chef kiss. We were eating good. We were eating good for 40 for the build. I remember like how excited I was. Like this year's build has been,
It's
I
been middle.
guess, yeah, it's been mid level. What does MJF say? Mid, which is not bad. I'm excited for WrestleMania, but also I felt like it's just lackluster to 40 because 40 just had an aura. Maybe because it's Travis Scott, but I don't know.
you know what? Getting into the main event, let's just start off at the top. Cena
Yeah,
versus Cody. We were talking about Cody. Now we're talking about Cena. That build has started off at Elimination Chamber with a huge, people have argued the biggest heel turn of all time. Probably
what since Hogan,
since Hogan, yeah, with the
Yep.
the third man and all that
the for
stuff.
life NWO.
Hey, hey, hey.
Jesus.
So yeah, what do we think about this build? This has been, I think, to me, the most consistent momentum build between the two, but I think it really is because they're like a match made in heaven in terms of like what they're best at is like the storytelling aspect. They're two, obviously people have called Cody the John Cena of this era. But what have you guys thought about this build so far? Ray, why don't you go ahead and start?
I mean, I think it's been steady so far. Obviously, a lot of people want The Rock to be involved during this build-up because he's the one that helped turn Cena heel. But I think those last couple of weeks, especially in the European side, we finally get to see a little bit of his motives, but also him on the mic, which we haven't seen in quite some time. Even with this last one, where he's like, "I'm not gonna cook you, I'm gonna bury you." We know this is a different Cena than what we've seen before, at least from what I've seen. I know our historian will say otherwise in a bit, but like it's different because we know Cena, we've seen him in the ring, we've seen Cody, we've seen him in the ring, but both of them on the mic is something maybe we haven't seen in a long time, and this was that moment. Um, I do wish it was a little bit more outside of like maybe tease something like when The Rock and Cody were kind of beefing it, they were like attacking each other in that sense, or Rock would attack him backstage. Like if we got that, I believe the last Raw with Cena and Cody were there, I think it would have been perfect, but it's steading its way there.
I got you. Anything to add to that, Cougar Connoisseur?
I realized the name when I popped up, and I was like, "Holy crap, that's the name." I think Ray has a lot of good points too. What he was saying, like it. I wish we could have got more Cena versus Cody, because the way I look at this feud is, those are nerds, or comic book nerds. I see a lot of Injustice Superman,
Mm,
and I do feel like Cody is gonna be. I guess I don't want to mix worlds here, but he's kind of playing like this Captain America role, which is really hard because Cena's too OP, but his I want to. It's hard to say because I'm confused on this feud. Like I really don't know who to choose and who's right. I don't know who I'm going for,
Here,
and
delve
it's
into it real quick. Delve into it real quick. So why is Cena? What is Cena's point from your perspective? Like,
that
describe.
that that's the hard part too. I feel like Cena's part. I mean, his whole point of this is to get that 17 title reign, right? He's finally sick and tired of letting because what he was on a losing streak from all of 2023 to 2024, right?
yeah. I don't think
He's
he had
lost.
won a match in a while.
He's been putting people over, and for the longest time, people have been saying Cena is it will grab out a shovel and bury you. I think that was the biggest thing of big Cena fans all over the world. That's all they would hear. We hate Cena because he did this. We hate Cena because he can't do that. Like it was always so many things. So I think his whole point of getting this championship is proving people like I am. Since you want to say I'm this monster that I am, I'm this guy that's gonna bury these people. I'm gonna bury your poster boy, your new poster boy, and show him why I'm the GOAT, why I'm the guy that's gonna be holding the company for the next 10 years. Even though I'm gonna
Mm.
retire, I'm taking my belt. That's the way I look at it, and it's hard because like I'm confused on this feud as I go. Like I'm watching it, but I'm confused. Like I don't see the bigger picture at the end of the day, and I think a lot of people don't understand that. Like, what do you mean you're confused? I'm like, I'm just confused on the end goal of this. Like, does Cody win? Does Cena win? Like, what's the end goal? Like, I think
Mm.
what I put in the group chat the other day, Cena winning the belt, having that roller coaster of old rivals, old frenemies, and stuff like that. But I think I don't know. I really have no words for this feud. Like, I think Ray said it all, honestly, and I'm still confused on this feud. I need more time with Cena and Cody to actually like form an opinion on it.
You know what? I think it's been I see what you mean. I see where you're coming from for sure because at the in terms of what is happening, I'm with it. Like I see what's happening in terms of like, okay, this 20-year relationship he's had with the fans where let's go Cena, Cena sucks and he's even though he's supposed to be the hero of everything. And yeah, like you mentioned, like what happens when Superman gets sick of doing the right thing in spite of like everyone kind of hating on him and whatnot. But
What's the word? Like
then
tug on his cape? You tugged on Superman's cape too many times.
exactly right. Yeah, and then you have Cody who is I think Cena said like, "Oh, you're the new plaything. You're just like the new toy." It literally is
Yeah.
Andy, I don't want to play with you anymore type thing. And he's like sort of the representation for like the people's champ now. But as for where I get lost a little bit in this feud, I guess, is sort of where why did Cena sell his soul? Obviously, we're talking about the 17 championship, and that is definitely a valid reason why. But I think it's fascinating that they haven't mentioned The Rock at all. I think just once in the most recent thing. And
Yeah.
I think that just kind of goes to show an aspect of Triple H's booking is like he's very much like the slow build. Like we will not acknowledge well, we're gonna get to that potentially, hopefully, maybe. Who knows? Maybe next Raw, like it's just kind of like more of the same.
And I
But
think that's what gets me, that not knowing the reason why. It's because like I feel like Cena's playing a comedic villain. Does that make sense?
A little bit, a little bit.
Like he's
a
playing
lot
too
more
much of a comic.
exaggerated. A little
Yeah.
more exaggerated. He's like doing the different like hand gestures and being very like harsh with his words.
And he's going
Yeah.
like this and closing his fist, and
Mhm.
it makes me confused because I'm like, I can't take Cena seriously like this. Like, you're trying too hard to be something that you're not, and I'm trying to get behind it and do my best to get behind it. And I'm like, damn, like I trying my best. And Fromos have been good with Cody. Cody's comeback to what Cena was saying was actually pretty good as well. Like, I'm not disregarding that what they've been saying to each other at all. It's just so hard to get behind Cena right now, for me. It's a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling to have.
And a lot of fans maybe that don't watch Cody outside when he was in WWE tend to forget that he's good on the mic. A lot of people
Yeah,
just bring up, oh, he only talks about his dad, his family. Yeah, but like you let him go raw, pause. You let him go at it, he's
just
he's
record it
gonna
for him.
I'm gonna
he's gonna
clip
give
that.
you
Sorry, continue.
magic. Just zoom in right there, pause.
Just,
Uh, but like you give Cody the mic and he's gonna give you magic, man.
Yeah, and I think for me, Cody, I'm a big Cody fan. I think he is the example of a character where his best work is done when there's like a clear destination. He can't just kind of go like just like ironically enough, like Cena, where of course, I don't know, I wasn't really watching every single Raw and SmackDown at the time, but it seems like if you just put him on a mic, he can like somewhat, sure, people won't like him and will just boo him for being corny, but he'll say entertaining stuff. Whereas for me, Cody, he kind of needs like a creative direction, which is why I feel like a lot of people, I wasn't one of these people, but I feel like a lot of people were sort of kind of turned and like, oh, he's stale, he's boring. But I think it really is just because he needs a clear direction. And then when he was given a clear direction with the KO stuff and all this stuff,
yeah.
people sort of didn't know how to react because they just want to stick to their opinion of like, Cody's a stale champion, even though they were getting some good stuff. So yeah, that's my thing is like I agree, Cody, he's doing his bit. What do you guys think of the whole like I'm turning heel and giving the very meta quality of it, like me being a heel? I'm not gonna give you what you want. I'm not gonna give you the new theme. I'm not gonna give you the new outfit. I'm not gonna get. I know people were rumored like, oh, since Travis Scott was the third man, I guess, that he was gonna get like a Travis Scott produced or featured
A John
thing.
Cena meal at McDonald's is what I
That'd be
heard.
pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, well, he does have like the Muck value. I love, yo, this past couple months, I've had to, your boy has been using that Muck value meal like
Hey, it's a
that.
lot of food.
I've
It's
had
a
to see that
lifesaver, man. It's a
sicko.
lifesaver.
I've had to see that sicko time and time again. But anyways, um, what do you guys think of that whole how he's going about this heel turn?
I like it. I think with Cena doing this whole heel turn, it's smart because all over the internet, even us, we were in a group chat saying, "Oh, we're gonna get a new theme song. We're gonna get this. Are we gonna get that? Are we gonna get that?" And I think Cena heard that and said, "Nah, you're not getting nothing. You're gonna get the same John Cena you've been seeing for the last 20 plus years. You're gonna see that, and you're not gonna like it. I don't care. You're not gonna like it." Because when he said that the first promo, I said, "Okay, I can get behind that. I'm not gonna give you what you want because you want me to look different. You want me to act different. You want a new theme song. Nope, you're
Hmm.
gonna hear my same theme song that you've been hearing for the last past year." And I think that takes a thing on Cena's character. My little brother, he's coming with all his wrestlers. He heard us talking about wrestling, but yeah, you want to say hi real quick? Yeah, you're right here. You want to close my door?
We getting a cameo
No.
right now. We getting a
Dang.
cameo by the GOAT.
Oh, jeez, this is Hogan. I know Hulk Hogan, right? John Cena and Roman Reigns, like the trifecta of Goat Mount Rushmore.
Hey.
Um, but with Cena, I think it's pretty smart too because that's a heel. You're not giving the fans what they want. You want to. It's not. He's not doing no cheap like the Spurs suck in San Antonio type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hmm.
He's doing something like you're not. No, you're not gonna get what you want. Simple as that. You wanted this. No, you're not gonna have it. Like I think that's super smart on Cena's end. I think he said that was Rider with Edge. You have to think outside the box, and I think Cena thought that, and that's the best way to go for his character. I mean, Ray, you have anything else to say on that one?
I mean, I think you've hit everything. I just think it's another one of those situations. I think more of the creative side is kind of like if you do change up Cena to be a heel, Of course, the theme music we've heard that he's had before, a new style, all these things, but what the fans want it. Because then it comes to that debate, oh, he did it best when he was the face, when it was the bright colors, and oh no, like I just feel like it comes down to what the fans too. They say they want it, and then when they get it, no. Like we look at Cody as champion. That build up, yes, fans wanted it. After he got it, nah, I don't really want Cody as champion anymore. It's time to move on.
But I also think with Cody's championship reign, I don't mean to cut you off, but with Cody's championship reign, they didn't give him a lot of work with. With Solo, like Solo
Yeah.
wasn't built to be that top star just yet. Solo wasn't that type that main guy for Cody to face. Like he wasn't a threat like Roman was or KO was. Like I look at KO and Cody's rivalry like Joker and Batman or Red Skull and Captain America is the way I look at it because that's
Hey.
the one man that can go insane at any moment. And give me 1 second, I'll lock my door. I'll be right back.
Okay, for sure.
One thing I gotta say is I kind of agree. I just feel like right now WWE has a lot of faces more than heels because a lot of them are just in like groups. The Judgment Day, for example, before they turned on Rhea and Damien, those were the only big face or big heels. And then of course the Bloodline, the only heels. So I just feel like there's not really a lot of, oh my goodness, like him versus Cody. Like it didn't happen until KO really. The
Yeah.
the face turned heel. Like it's stuff like that I think maybe started off slow a little bit with Cody's run. We got a little bit of AJ when he was heel, but even then it was just like
I think AJ's
kind
heel
of
character
random.
died.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's. I mean, this dude's going against Logan Paul. There's no way he's a heel now. But I think it. I remember real quick, and then we'll move on to a different match real quick. I think you Ray has a great point of I've seen people say like, oh, like look what Cody's doing. Like they have to turn Cena heel. They had to turn Rock heel just so he can find a worthy opponent. But to me, it's like no, they got to turn The Rock heel. No, they got to turn Cena heel. Like Cena was never, he's been a heel here and there, but he never had a full on heel turn, especially post PG era. You know, he in order to find in order to make Cody's character work, he needed to get a worthy opponent. And that's not the other way around where Cody is just not a worthy enough opponent. All this stuff. To me, I think this whole Cena heel turn, I'm very curious to see what happens when first of all, what happens at Mania. We've never seen Cena rock a heel match, which I'm very excited to see. If he just ends up doing the same thing and he's just like you love me or you hate it, or you sort of and also what he does after Mania. You know, I
I
think
do feel
that's where
like
it's going to be interesting.
we'll get more Cena, more of what Cena's doing and what his plan is after Mania. Whatever the outcome will be, if Cody wins, if Cena wins, I feel like we do get more of an explanation of what Cena's doing. Like I said, I mean Cena's overall arc of right now is saying no, you're not getting what you want. Is Cena thinking outside the box and thinking, yeah, I'm not gonna give you a singlet. You're not getting a new theme song. Like this is what you're gonna get, and you're gonna enjoy it because I made this company. I carried it in my back for 20 plus years. So that's the way I look at it. So I think it's great for right now.
You know,
Yeah.
it's funny that we talk about Cena turning heel. However, he did turn heel one time before that in front
As
of
well.
people.
Oh Jesus, I know where this is going to. I don't want to bring this up.
Where are you taking us, Ray? Take us where you got to take us.
There was a video online, right? And like he was like, "You guys wanted a heel turn." He heel turned in front of people.
I'll put the
Reflect
clip
a
up
little.
on. I'll put the clip on.
I got it. I got it. How about a little heel turn? You see, that's the excitement that I'm talking about.
He was also an amazing heel on Total Divas.
Oh yeah, Nikki Bella kind of deserved it for the way she ended things on her end. But hey,
You
I think
know, you know.
yeah, this is
This is the third
Cena.
time. Third
That's
time.
that's two justified heel turns right there. You know what? Okay.
I see nothing bad about it.
As I'm going through like how much time we have, I think we'll save next week to be like, here's all our picks. I kind of want to like write them down as we talk next week and kind of run through our picks, and then the week after we'll have a competition, see who has the most right, and we'll see how that goes. But anyways, I think we'll go over a couple more matches real quick. Ray, why don't you go ahead and pick one out of the hat. What's a build? What's a feud? What's a match that you want to discuss?
See, there's so many because of course there's Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano, which I
Oh
called.
God.
I called it. I called
Which is
it.
not Chad Gable, by the way.
It's not Chad Gable,
It's
of course.
crazy. We're having Chad Gable miss another WrestleMania, man.
I hate
It's a
to see
damn
it.
shame.
But
It's a
I
damn shame.
but I think the one that catches my eye outside of the main event ones, it's got to be that Fatal Four Way.
Oh yeah. That
Okay,
that
okay. We're talking about the IC title,
I'm talking
Braun
about
Breaker, Penta, Dominic Mysterio, and Finn Balor. What's catching your eye with that one?
the fact that we could see Judgment Day implode at WrestleMania. I, like they've done it at the pay-per-view. I believe it was what, Backlash? The first? No, SummerSlam. SummerSlam in Cleveland. We haven't really seen, or at least maybe Ephraim or my bad, Cougar Connoisseur, you could probably say
Jesus
it.
Christ. I don't
We've
know how
never
you're saying that. I can't say that word at all.
we've never seen Dominic take on Finn, and we don't know if we're gonna get Demon Finn because we've seen little hints before. I saw he made a face, so I'm pretty sure I'm wrong.
No, no, no. I
Um,
was thinking about Finn versus Dom. I don't think we ever got that match.
we've never seen it, so I think it'd
Yeah.
be a good idea.
I'm
And
trying
then
to think.
considering like they're both been in the Judgment Day, they both kind of know each other. Obviously, there's a little bit of drama stirring in between them both. You got Penta, who did amazing like this past year. And then Braun Breaker, that dude is cero miedo,
Mm.
crazy right there. But then you got Breaker, man, like Steiner math, 25% chance right there. Like,
Steiner
Oh,
Math, I know.
we need a Steiner Math promo. Cause okay, hold on. Kind of talking about Braun. Can we just talk about the greatest spear in the world that in the history of spears we've ever seen? I'm just gonna
What did
pull up
Carlito
a
say?
he
My
said
funeral?
his funeral was Friday.
Yeah,
Thoughts
so I
and
think
prayers.
please let us attend, Carlito. We'll be there. Jesus Christ. Just that angle Braun went. Like he straight up like swan dive into a pool or something.
Look at
and
that
the
guy in the
way
background.
Yeah, I
on
didn't
the
even
left
notice that
here.
guy either.
Also, my favorite part is just like how quick he goes down the ramp, and then I guess like there was some time between cutting angles. Like he's like midway through the ramp, and then they cut to this angle right here, and he's already like leaping towards Carlito. So it's like he just teleported or just flew through the air and smacked the shit out of Carlito. Which R.I.P. Carlito, man. This is right
This
here is like a missile through your ribs.
this image right here could be used for so many memes. Like
You know what it
just
looks like though? It looks like they like latched Braun Burger on top of the ceiling and then like let him go and let Braun just swan dive into Carlito.
They
That's
had
what
him
it
pull a
looks like in this
sting. They
angle.
had him pull
Yeah.
a sting and just straight up drop into Carlito.
Yeah. That's what that looks like. It's wild to see this like in this motion right here.
It does, and he like flips over and everything, and
He
and
tucked
dude,
really well too.
he
He
did.
tucked his neck good. Like the way he landed that was a good tuck. Like
Yeah, I
I would
remember
have
he was a
gone,
football
bro.
player. He knows how to,
That's
he
what I'm
knows how to
saying.
do this. Yeah.
And I worked at a trampoline park, and those kids that used to do flips and stuff like that did not do that as good as that. As Braun did that at all.
absolutely, man.
Jesus, it's wild.
He is definitely. I feel like on track to be like the next Brock Lesnar in terms of just like a beast. You don't want to
Oh
fuck
yeah.
with, and obviously there's some like the aura of Brock is different. Like Vince took great care of it. Obviously took great care of
Obviously,
him.
yeah.
Wait, what does McAfee say about Brock Lesnar? If aliens came to take over the world, who's the one man you're sending into battle? It's Brock Lesnar.
It's
Yeah,
Andre
what is it?
Iguodala. Next question.
Yeah, with the death beams pointed down at us.
Iguodala.
I want Iguodala.
So how you brought up Dominic. I feel like it's unprecedented. You can check me, Cougar Connoisseur, but the the triple heel turn, the triple heel turn, and I mentioned this in the chat, is he turned heel at first against Edge, um, in favor of Rhea and to all this stuff.
Which I want to say that's a good heel turn too from Dom. I think that's like a top 10 heel turn. We knew
The
it
way
was
Edge
coming, but
sells it too, the
yeah,
way Edge sells it too, dropping down and looking up,
And
it's
then
a work of
and
art.
then beating his dad too on top of all that. Oof.
That too.
I mean, Ray slander is my favorite type of slander.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna say
know.
that now.
Believe me, I should
Any
know.
Ray, any of
Any
them.
Ray, Ray
And then
Phoenix, Ray Mysterio, Ray Carter, just throw that out there.
and then you got the second heel turn with he turned on Rhea in favor of getting with Liv.
That one hurt.
So that one
That did.
hurt. That one was also I think everyone expected it, but just the way it played out was like, yeah, and the
Dude,
makeout was
That
crazy
was
and
brutal. That
the
was a
fact
brutal. Like I was like, oh my god, man, what am I
no
seeing this, bro?
no the fact that even said in Chris Van Vliet's interview that that was improvised.
Oh yeah, that's a different
I
type of
was
gimmick
like
time.
I was like, no, that is crazy.
Props to
Dominic
Dominic's wife.
Mysterio's. I was gonna say Dominic
Yeah,
Mysterio's wife is God's strongest soldier.
she's like, oh
I
okay, you're
don't.
gonna kiss Liv Morgan? Okay, that's fine. You can go.
That's got to be
But
like an open
Jesus,
marriage or something. I don't know. Anyways, and then we
jeez.
have potential on April. I don't think we know if it's night one or night two, April 19th or 20th of Dominic turning. I don't even know if it's turning heel, just like being more heelish against Finn and
I,
turning
I
heel, Finn face, which could be cool.
I think he might take his own Judgment Day. Like he might kick out Finn, and because you know JD's a ride or die with Finn too. So when JD gets back, they're probably kicking JD out soon.
People, yeah, especially coming off that crazy fall and just in general with injuries, when you come back, everyone's sort of, you kind of get out on everyone's side. They're like, oh, wow, he's back. So, yeah,
Yeah,
JD
face
going
turn's gonna be
face could be
crazy.
cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
Yeah.
crazy turn for JD McDonough, which I've been a big fan for JD McDonough. I think his original name was like NXT. It wasn't JD. It was something so odd that I can't remember. It was like I can't remember his name,
It
but he
was
had a whole different
DJ.
name.
It was DJ McDonough. Come on now.
No, I'm gonna worry about it now. I'm text y'all later. I'm like, oh, it's this name. Um, but yeah, no, yeah, I think Dom. Going back to that, I think Dom will form his own Judgment Day. I think
Alistair
I
Black.
that's what I was thinking, but I don't know. Alistair Black's too big of a star to be like one of the pack. You know what I mean? He
And
has
then
to be
he's
the
getting
alpha.
advertised on
Yeah,
SmackDown. So it's like unless the draft happens, which I don't even know anymore when it happens, or if it is because I
yeah, it's
remember
so
last
weird.
year. Yeah, last year was like, all right, we're gonna change our roster. Stayed with the same roster.
Pretty
Look,
much
the aura,
everybody,
because
yeah.
I know you guys are like very new to it, but the aura the draft had when I was a kid was such a different vibe. You ever go watch old Monday Night Raw and SmackDown episodes when the draft was like on a big board, and it would be like a wrestler from Raw and SmackDown wrestling each other, and the winner of that match would get a superstar, and it'd be like, do 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 do. You don't know who's getting picked. There's one time where John Cena got thrown to SmackDown and thrown back to Raw on the same night.
I saw
Like
that,
that's how crazy
yeah.
it was. Yeah, like the draft had aura. That was my first ever wrestling event. The draft had aura. Like it was a different type of draft. Like this one's boring now. I hate this one.
Now
But
nowadays you get people shouting Chris Benoit. Like that's what
who's
you
he?
get.
What happened? that was let's. Oh, okay.
404, error 404, I think. You just
we
glitched out
we
there, Ray. I
we
don't know.
Ray,
Bleep.
we call it downfall.
But yeah, man.
Um,
So coming back to the Fatal Four Way, how do you think that goes down?
I do think. Honestly, I do think Penta is gonna. I don't think Penta's gonna win right away. I feel like they're gonna build him to have a feud with Dominic. Because I think that's the best thing for Penta right now to be that since he's the ultimate babyface right now. Not the ultimate because we have Cody still, but on the Raw
He's
side of
up there.
things, yeah, he's
Yeah,
up
yeah,
there with
yeah.
Cody and all them. And I think Dom, being the ultimate heel that he is, he can bring that out. And I think, yeah, Finn would turn, but I don't think it might happen at Mania. I think it might happen later. But I see Dom winning that title because like Finn hits a coup de grace and Penta or Bron, and Dom kind of like throws Finn on out of the ring by accident. That's something I've been thinking.
Ooh.
It's
Accident?
something by accident, yeah.
What do you mean by
And
that? What do you mean by that?
more like, whoops, I pushed you out of the ring by mistake. You know what I mean? And doing Latino heat type thing.
Because fatal four way, no DQ, right?
Anything happens.
I don't think so.
No
There's
DQ, similar to
no
like triple
DQ.
threat. So there's
Maybe
opportunity for shenanigans.
maybe we see Liv Morgan do her move on Finn and knock him out by
By
accident.
accident.
By
Yeah,
They've
by
been
accident, of course.
beefing.
accident.
Liv and
So I
Finn
I
been
I wanted Penta to win. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I do see
no, you're
Dom
good.
taking that title.
Got you, Ray. You see anything different? Or are you where you lay on
You said
that?
you have Dom winning, right? Or you
Hmm.
said Penta?
I said Dom.
Dom. I see Dom winning. I think it's time you get him a trophy or a belt, actually. Excuse me. Last time he had it was the NXT, and that was a good run with
I like
them
that run. Yeah.
going back and forth. I think
Yeah,
it's time you give him a championship. Finn Balor, I think after they kick him out, they kind of work with him again to maybe make him a face, maybe start getting him in that conversation of, okay, can you win on Raw, their championship? Uh, but I think you gotta give it a Dom. It's time. Penta's barely new. He's kind of still in that early stage. Braun Breaker, he's already won. This is his second belt.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's time for Braun to move on.
yeah, I think it's
heavyweight.
time
I
you
think heavy.
get him ready.
Ooh, Braun Gunther.
I think Braun takes the belt off of Gunther. Like, I don't like. I know we're not gonna get to it, but I don't think Jay's winning on WrestleMania. I think
The
that I don't see it. I don't.
Well, you're gonna see it at WrestleMania.
Where are my Jay Uso glasses? So I tell people I'm a Jay Uso fan. I swear I like Jay.
Nah, first you disrespected Undertaker saying, nah, he's all right. I'm not a big fan. Now, Jake, bro, you're gonna have the wrestling community hating you.
Look, a lot of the wrestling community hates Jay right now too, which is very odd that y'all say that because I actually like Jay. I was rooting for him to win the Rumble. I think it was needed. It was fresh. It was refreshing. But yeah, I don't know. I see Braun taking that title off of Gunther, or the name I always want to call him is Walter. That's why I started a lot saying his name. But I see him taking that title off of Gunther. I
Gunther.
think Braun's going to be champ by SummerSlam.
Hey, okay.
Okay.
I'm down for Braun being Mr. SummerSlam. He won the IC title, I think, the first time at SummerSlam. Was it the first or second time at
Yeah.
SummerSlam? And then he potentially, yeah, I'd be super down for that. So coming back to the old list here, the old card list, Mr. Cougar Connoisseur, what match would you like to go over?
I don't know. I'm actually want to talk about that triple threat right there with the women.
Yeah, let's do it, man. This
Was
okay.
Miss Io Sky blessing us yesterday? Or on Monday, I should say.
All three
My
women were
Lord,
blessing us yesterday.
yo, my
All
Lord
three
and
women.
Savior, the saving grace of WWE, the Queen, my Lord and Savior, Jesus,
Bro,
Io Sky, God
Charlotte
bless.
Flair.
Oh
You
my
I
talking about
was
God.
Charlotte
just
Oh
Flair,
like
hell
right?
no,
I was just like Santi when
man.
he was reacting. I
Oh
was like,
no, Santi was wild for that reaction. He went, "What?"
He's like,
because
see,
it's like
I mean, the thing is,
He kept like he was like, "What? What?"
respect to Santi.
Santi's funny, man.
This is a pro Santi
Yeah, yeah.
podcast. Sancho. Mm.
We love Santi and we love Wheezy. Wheezy Blonde and Santi are our two favorites
oh, I thought you
of
meant
this
Lil
podcast.
Wayne. I thought you meant Lil
No,
Wayne.
Wheezy Blonde.
Louise.
I mean, she could be.
Tunchi.
She's a goat. She's a goat like that.
No, yeah, she's great too. But oh, so also wait, going into this, what I was gonna say earlier, this Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair feud is like the most attitude era Vince booking, like out of from what I know of the Vince McMahon attitude era is like super convoluted. It doesn't make sense. Like Rhea just comes in, writes her name on the contract, and she's good. You have Bianca, who already hates both of them as like a special guest referee, coming in. Obviously, she's gonna DQ them both. Adam Pearce, someone mentioned or described it as like him being tired of his three daughters, and I'm like, yeah, that's hilarious. That he's just like sick and tired of this shit. But to me, I know a lot of people have been shitting on this feud, but
I
I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I love it.
Me too, yeah.
It's
Yeah, like
entertaining,
I like
man.
this feud. I like the build up to it too. I think that's the only way to get a triple threat match. There's not a lot of triple threat matches I see that get built up. They just announce it, but like on the other side of things with the men, that's a different type of build. That's history right there. But I think people tend to forget that Rhea, Bianca, and Io all came up together in NXT.
No.
They've all fought each other before. So, like, seeing that, for me, watching them, to see them at WrestleMania is kind of like a dream match for me. It's cool seeing those three women go toe-to-toe-to-toe, which is super fucking cool. And I don't know if we can cuss on this thing, but,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
it's super cool to see it. And I think, that
PG
people that know
brother.
that, yeah, PG, brother.
I don't even know if that's PG.
Oh, I don't know. PG. I have R-Truth stuck in my head. Thanks, Ray. I'm going
Yeah.
to hear it all day now. But no,
What do you
like,
think the R?
even,
What do you think the R stands for?
oh,
See, are you gonna say you hate Ray Truth now? Is that what I'm
look,
hearing?
listen, look, man. All right.
You hate the Rays.
Look, I just hate Ray Mysterio, right? He's a deadbeat dad. It's true. Where's Leah at? He hasn't been home to, be with Leah. So, there's my point right there. I'm on Dominic's side the whole way, all the way through.
Us
But,
Rays stay together.
oh, yeah, you got to meet Ray Phoenix now, Ray.
The Ray Alliance, the
Crap.
Rayverse.
The Ravers. There you go. That's what it was, right? That's what I was
Yep.
thinking. I was like, what was that word we gave it? But no, we went back to that triple threat. I think it's a great build. Like, people are going to complain because they don't like Rhea Hogan and whatever they want to call her. And I mean, Rhea's the hottest thing. You want to see Rhea at WrestleMania. You want to see Bianca. You want to see those are your top three women. Like, if they had a third brand, like it was, Raw, SmackDown, ECW, whatever. Like, you want those three women headlining your show. Like, you want them in the card. You don't want anybody else. Like, yes, we have Chelsea, we have Lyra, we have Charlotte, we have Tiffany. Yeah. But those three are going to carry it from what the Four Horsemen did with Charlotte, Becky, Bayley, and Sasha, or Mercedes Moné, now people want to call. But, those are the three women that are going to, like, captivate women's wrestling for the next. I'm a big activist in women's wrestling, too. I love those storylines. Anything they do is super cool. Like, I really watched NXT for them. Like, it's crazy, but that build's going to be great. So a lot of people hating on it, it just doesn't make sense to me. But everyone has an opinion on it.
Coming into this, we gotta remember Rhea was a champion, and it was supposed to be Rhea versus Bianca. Then it was like, all right, and then Triple H said, "Hold up, I thought Rhea was gonna win. No, we're gonna drop Io in there now. Io becomes champion, and it's just like,
Thank God.
Which was a good tour. Like, Io deserves that belt. I think she deserves to walk into WrestleMania as champ. Io has been killing it. I really want Io to win that world title. It just looks good on her too.
it
That
does."
world title looks great
Damn right,
on
it looks
anybody
great on
wearing
her.
it. It looks great. The women's championship on SmackDown, that's a different story. But that world title is always gonna look beautiful. But with Io getting that swerve on that Raw, right? Was she on a Raw?
Yeah, she won it, Raw.
Was like, holy crap! Is like Rhea not gonna be a Mania? Like, nah, it has to be a triple threat. Or how is this gonna work? Like, but that's how you build. Like, a lot of people don't understand that. That's how you build a storyline.
And that's
And
one
people
thing
just
like
don't.
Triple H has kind of done is just like when he makes something, we're like, nah, boo, forget it. And then like a couple of weeks, months go by, we're like, okay, maybe he was right, maybe we were wrong, you know.
Yeah.
But kind of going back, it's just I don't know why people hate it. It's such a great match, and it's just one of the things where when you look at the women's division in WWE, not including NXT, you can make an argument it's not the best right now.
Wait. So
The
the men division or the women division?
women's division.
Oh, okay.
Like, there's not a lot. Of course, it's the main ones always. Bianca, Io, Chelsea, Tiffany. Like, there's a lot of big names, but there's not like a lot of captivating names. Like, oh my gosh, like I gotta go to WrestleMania. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
Where like,
last year's big headliner was Becky versus Rhea, I believe, and I mean
yeah,
that's a money match. That's two of your
right.
biggest stars going against each other, and I think that's what they were trying to do with this match, which a lot of people don't like because a lot of people don't really like Bianca, which I recently just
I
found
find,
out.
yeah,
Yeah,
People have
so
been
it's crazy.
waiting.
Like,
They've been giving her the Super Cena treatment in terms of like, LOL, Bianca just wins and just hits her KOD and calls it a day. Which is funny enough. The crowd has decided that she is a heel now.
ooh, yeah,
Just
which is
ooh,
crazy though, because her reign wasn't even that boring. Like there's moments of matches that I didn't like, but it was never bad. Like I think who she feuded with Bayley. It's been a while since I remember that feud, but like I get why it's not was it memorable for some people, but it wasn't a bad reign. it was solid for her. And then when she won the SmackDown title too, it was solid. Like she has good title reigns. It's just a weird like turn. It's like Cody. They're just turning on anybody that keeps winning. They want
Yeah.
AEW type title changing every 2 weeks.
Unless you're Mercedes Moné, of course.
Yeah, I was a
Mercedes
big Sasha
Hogan.
fan too. You know that? And all this stuff came out, and I was like, nah, I can't get behind you anymore either now. Damn. That's how it's going to
You
be.
see it.
Yeah, real quick, we're gonna get into our sharpshooter segment, our regular
Oh,
segment
yeah,
we're
yeah.
about to get into, but I want to say to Ray's point is I think yes, the women's division for the main roster is I don't know, it's very hit or miss. Like you got the what is it, the Pure Fusion Collect. I cannot laugh. I've never said their name out loud, so me saying it out loud for the first time, I just couldn't get past it. Pure Fusion Collective.
What was it?
Um,
PFC is what they changed it to?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Jesus
and
Christ.
right, you have, I don't know. That to me, when I just talk about, that's just what I think of. But I think they are turning a corner because that Naomi Jade feud
Cooking.
is cooking. It's fire. It's doing really great. I think we just gotta start doing more feuds that don't include a title belt, because then that's
Yeah.
how you develop
Yeah.
character. That's how you give history to people. That's how you start developing personality traits. And I think as we start to get more of those, and again, Naomi and Jade being like number one example, I think things will start to grow and develop, and we'll start to invest more into the women's division. And hopefully next year we'll get that women's main event in on the WrestleMania.
Like
So
Just, yeah, better
yeah.
storytelling, better overall. Like,
Yeah, it's nothing to
it's
do with the
just,
wrestlers. It's the booking. It's
yeah.
always creative. That's
yeah.
you
Yeah.
gotta
One
That's
sort of
thing
point
honestly
to.
it.
one thing I want to say is like I really enjoyed, especially SmackDown, because a lot of people right now think that's probably like the worst show between Raw and SmackDown. I really enjoyed them kind of bringing in characters that were kind of on screen, like BFAB, for example. Shout out BFAB. I really didn't know much about her, and then they started like, all right, here's a match. Here's a match. And I was like, oh, she's like that? Okay.
I I do think SmackDown needs bigger hitters though. Like
Yes, they definitely need that right
they
now.
need like Jordan Grace needed to be not NXT. I know they wanted her to work down there, but like she should have been SmackDown talent. Like she's a big star. She should be on SmackDown. Like that's her brand. SmackDown could have been her brand. You know what I mean? With Jade
Yeah.
and Naomi and. But even then, it's WrestleMania, so all your big stars are like gonna go to Raw if you were Rhea or Io. That's where the big hitters are at. And then we get stuck with Charlotte, which all of us are not. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody, but we're not the biggest Charlotte fans. And I know there's some out there. Like my brother's a big Charlotte fan. I don't know
Oh, wow.
how, and he hates Becky Lynch. It's so odd.
Fascinating.
It's an interesting dynamic, but like Tiffany's carrying that show. Like I think Tiffany. I still wanted to see like Tiffany to feud with like Candice LeRae or like Nia. Like it could have gone a little bit longer, but I know Charlotte came back, won the Rumble, so things change. But it's a dream match for sure. But
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
The
it's
feud's been lackluster for me.
they're making it feel like it's like a passing of the torch type thing, but then the build has been super interesting in a different way. You know what? We'll put a
We'll
pin in
save
that
that. Yeah.
conversation because
Yeah,
I
we'll say
think
that.
next week will be part two of our WrestleMania 41 conversation, which works out perfectly. So yeah,
This is a week
with
before
that,
Mania, right?
Yep.
let's do it, man. Let's do it. So with that being said, man, as we start to sort of get towards the later end of the podcast, we want to just we're all kind of getting to know each other. I just met Mr. Cougar Connoisseur Ephraim right before we
It's the
recorded
wild
this
name.
right before we hit record, and obviously we've been in the group chat for a minute, but
Never
yeah,
no
yeah.
face to face interaction.
Right. So as much as it's the viewer getting to know us, it's also us kind of getting to know each other. So in this segment, it's sort of just going to be us bringing up a question to the group, whether it be wrestling, whether it be music, whether it be movies, whether it be life, and we'll just open up a little roundtable discussion, and that's how we'll sort of wrap up every episode, just so that way it doesn't get too caught up in the weeds of a particular if we're talking about movies all the time, maybe we'll want to switch it up, talk about the wrestling. We've been talking about wrestling all the time. Maybe we'll switch it up. So with that being said, Ray, why don't you give us a quick little
All
what's
right.
the very first question in our very
The
first
very first
sharpshooter
question.
segment? This will be history, and this will be remembered as the very first question in Kayfabe and Chill podcast history. What do you have for us? Blow us
Dang, that's a
away.
lot. That's a lot of pressure right there. I got one for you.
Take us
Simple as
away,
away though.
Ray.
So
Take us
You
away.
ready? Ready? Drum roll. Drum roll. Ready? Ready? What is y'all's favorite movie?
do you want me to go first on this one, or you want to go
You
first?
got it. You got it.
Oh, my favorite movie is Almost Famous. I don't know if y'all seen that movie.
I don't
Um,
think I've
Oh,
seen it.
I've heard
Let
of
me
it.
see.
really,
Yeah, I know.
it
I
has
definitely
Kate
heard of it.
Hudson in it, Jimmy Fallon, Patrick Fugit. It's pretty much about a. I'm gonna quick mansplain it. Is the way what the first thing we said earlier.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh,
kind of
this
run through
one.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If y'all want to look it up, pop a picture up or anything like that to show the audience
Perfect.
what movie I'm talking about here.
Got you.
Am I including my answer in this too by chance? Because
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Oh
we're
yeah.
including all three of us. Yeah.
No, you can't speak about your movie at all. We don't like you
I
there.
know.
dang, all right.
It's like, yeah, here's my favorite movie. Anyways, moving on.
Moving on about your movie. I like this one. Oh, I didn't get that. We don't care.
We're like, yeah, next.
Next question. Yeah, Almost Famous. Yeah, it's a movie about a boy that goes on tour with a rock band called Stillwater, and he's pretty much like he wants to be a rock writer, like Rolling Stones and all that. And he falls in love with a groupie right here named Miss Penny Lane, and it's pretty much about rock and roll, sex and drugs and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But it speaks pretty much how bands treat their groupies and other fans, and it's a whole different take on the rock world, which I love. I love my rock music. It's my main thing. I have literally Funko Pops of every single rock band that comes out. But yeah, it's a great movie. Definitely check it out. You have to be 18 and over though. I watched it when I was 16. Didn't know what I was getting myself into. But I've been watching bad stuff since I was 8, so nothing different. But it's a
That's
good
part of
movie.
that. I
Definitely
feel like
check it
that's
out.
part of childhood. That's part of childhood is
Oh
being
yeah.
is your parents putting on a movie they did not check the what it was about and the parental guidance, and you're just like, oh, I guess we're all watching the sex scene now, and
Well,
I
I
have
tried to
to.
call my dad out, but my dad made me watch this. He's like, "You might like this movie," and it's a wild movie to watch as a 14-year-old kid. Hey, but even
May
like even
Go
the
ahead.
soundtrack is good, guys. Too. Like the soundtrack is great. You have Simon and Garfunkel. There's a line from Zoe Deschanel, New Girl, Jess.
Hey,
She's
Yeah.
the older sister in this movie. She tells him one day you'll be cool. She leaves all the records for him, and it's kind of like he falls in love with rock music, and I think that's how all of us grew up at some point. We listen to that one song or that one artist, and it
Yep.
transfers you to a whole new world. And I think that's what this movie describes for me. So I've always resonated with it, and I've always loved it for that reason.
beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I haven't watched it, but I'm gonna check it out. For me, my answer is is a pretty basic answer. Uh, Favorite movie's got to be Back to the Future. If we're
Oh,
talking about what is like a
Mm-hmm.
perfect film, sure, there's a logical aspects to it. Sure, the science doesn't make sense, but who gives a flying? Yeah. But
What
Back to
did
the
the
Future
Avengers
to
debunk
me.
that? The Avengers debunk that time travel
Oh
theory.
yeah. Man, man, that part I had to I like close my ears and I was like la 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 la. Don't do not talk
Those guys
trash
are
about my
those guys
goat.
are those guys are ruthless on the movie. It's like
I
leave Robert
know.
Zemeckis alone.
But no, that movie is just perfect. Whether you're talking about Marty McFly, who is just like the prototypical like kid in high school, just trying to make by. No, speaking of, the Avengers movies, Tom Holland's Peter Parker is heavily, heavily based on Marty McFly in terms of, and you can tell just from the speaking mannerisms and whatnot. But also,
Yeah.
you got, I was gonna say Rick, like Rick and Morty, but Doc Brown, who is just is so quotable lines that is just one after the other. His voice, my dog is named Marty, and I just scream at him in Doc's voice all the time. And yeah, it's just
When Jiggles.
yeah,
I
hey Marty, so it's just to me, when I just think about like, okay, what is for me a sign of like, okay, what is a a movie that really resonates with me, or to me is like, this is like a check mark to me of like what is my favorite film. It's a film that like you wish you made, or like you wish you had the idea of. And for me, it's like, yeah, Back
Yeah.
to the Future, that whole concept of going back in time, seeing your parents, seeing the moment that they got together and messing it up somehow. And you got to try to find a way to like get your parents together. I think, and having those interactions with them at the cafe, I think is just such adorable moments I wish I could do with my mom and dad, and all this stuff. Just another quick random just to kind of flesh out that idea is another one is a Baby Driver, in terms of
Oh,
like the
Baby
whole
Driver's good.
idea of
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you're the movie is cut and like choreographed to music. That shit is just beautiful. Just beautiful.
Another
So no,
good
yeah.
flick too is Lighthouse. I would say I like Lighthouse. Lighthouse is a good color. I don't know if y'all have seen that one.
Yep.
With Robert Pattinson and Willem
Yeah,
Dafoe.
default and yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great film.
Great.
Like, let's get to Ray's part and not cutting off, but think of the camera
No, we're
and all
not
that
getting
stuff.
we're not getting a Ray.
Oh yeah, I forgot we're cutting Ray off. He asked the question, we gotta leave. Yeah,
Boom.
the Ray slander
Um,
is happening again. I love it. No.
my favorite would obviously have to be the greatest movie of all time, Minecraft. I mean, like, come
Oh
on. No,
god.
no, I'm kidding. It's Perks of Being a Wallflower. That
Oh,
movie
okay.
came to me kind
Yeah,
of like
yeah.
at an interesting time. But I've been recently rewatching it. Probably gonna rewatch it again actually this weekend. And it's just like that ending scene where he's talking about like years from now, where these are gonna be photographs, memories, whatever the case may be, but like we're infinite. So kind of like living
Mm.
in the present, which I feel like a lot of people, including myself, don't necessarily do. We're all focused on future, past, whatever the case may be. So
Some
just
carpe diem.
yeah,
Mm.
Seize the day.
basically.
Yeah.
So like living in the now, focus on what you can do now and see what you could do with that time because again, these are all going to be memories. Like this moment right here into this camera on a Zoom at 10:05 our time. This is going to be a memory one day. So just
Mm.
like
I honestly thought you were gonna say into the Rayverse on that moment. You were like, "Oh, we're
oh,
into this camera. We're going right into the Rayverse." I was like, "This guy's
dang
gonna
it.
put that line out."
It's like the WWE universe. You're calling
Yeah, we were
our
like
viewers the ravers.
the Rayverse, and you're
There you
like,
go. The
"What?"
Rayverse. It's happening.
That's a good name for us. That they're talking about it. Did you watch the Rayverse the other day? Talking about it.
That
You
would
don't
be
know.
sick. Yeah.
That'd be really cool to have. But no, yeah, like Perks of the Wallflower too. I think the movies you guys have both said, like I'm not like trying to agree with y'all, but they're my two and third favorite movies as well. So it's kind of ironic that y'all say that because I like Back to the Future. I think it's a perfect film, and I think Perks of the Wallflower holds such a deep message to a lot of people, and they don't understand the
Mm.
message because they haven't been that wallflower in that type of way, which
Yeah.
sounds really cringy, but it's true.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
definitely check out the book and Perks of the Wallflower because that's a good book. That's a good read, Ray. You'll definitely like that
That
book
actually
more.
inspired watching the movie actually inspired me to get the book. And
The
I
book is
remember reading
great.
it and I was like,
Mm.
dude, this is good.
Better, yeah, way better. Like it's not
Yeah.
the movie stays very close. There's things they cut out, but very very adaptive to the film, the book itself.
Right. Also, Paul Rudd in there, like I
Oh
know he
yeah,
doesn't really get much time, but the time he has in there, like it's very impactful. And
dude, he
of
has that
course,
one
like,
quote. Yeah, that one
yeah,
quote.
like why do we fall for the wrong people? We accept the love we think we deserve. I was like, dude, he was cooking. The writers gave him a oof.
Yeah.
But I also think that's what
Yeah.
makes us like have sometimes depressed too a little bit, which is not bad. But that's why we're depressed.
Right.
Yeah, that's the reason why. Just that line right there.
Great picks. Great picks. All right, Mr. Cougar Connoisseur. Every
Jesus
time I
Christ.
get more and more broken down by that name, and the more I think it's
I'm
gonna
getting
turn
used to it.
eventually. It's gonna
Yeah,
turn, yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna turn eventually where I'm just like, all right, Mr. Cougar, Mr. CC, what you
You're
got
gonna have
for
to change your
us?
name. You're gonna have to change your name.
I know. Oh, people watching are like, what? What is he? Like looking for a mom. That's what I'm looking for right now. No, I kind of want to go over. It's kind of like Ray's question, but what type of music do y'all vibe with the most? Like, what's
Oh.
your I don't want to say your favorite band or favorite artist. What's your favorite genre? Because I know. Is it y'all you have a lot of different tastes. I've seen all y'all Spotify's. Like I follow both
Yeah.
y'all on Spotify. So I've seen the
Stalker,
different
bro.
taste of music.
Stalker.
Huh? Did you
Okay.
say? Call me Joe
Stalker.
Goldberg. Just call me Joe Goldberg. Hello, you. Which is coming back April 27th, so I'm definitely checking that out when it comes back out, the final season.
The
Did he
final
just
half is
plug
yeah.
for Netflix?
That
What
plus
a
for Netflix.
shill, dog. What a shill. Yo, where's this? Where can I get this Netflix money, man? Where, like,
Hey, we're getting it. What are you
on
looking for?
episode 1, we're already doing ad reads? Jesus Christ.
They'd be like, we like these guys. Get them a contract.
Yeah, are you having trouble getting up? Dude, here's Blue Chew. Chew it before you do it.
Hey, that hits home right now. Okay, we're gonna leave that. We're gonna leave that at the door now.
Hey man, one in 3 men go through ED, man. I get it. I get it.
I need it. I need it. We're getting way off topic now.
No, that's my question actually. Describe a time that never mind.
That's the sharpshooter moment. Right? Oh crap!
So favorite music genre? I'd say, you know, it's no secret. This channel is very pro weekend, so I love R&B. I love, but R&B in all its forms. Um, whether you're talking, which is great because R&B is such a broad genre. It's pretty much all
Right.
the pop music is some form of R&B or hip hop. Um, but yeah, I think like my favorite versions, like I love 90s, like that sort of neo soul, D'Angelo, Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu. Usher, you get into the 2000s, which is great, but also like, you get into like an album that's like sitting right over here. Hold on, where am I pointing?
The
There.
white one right there, right there. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
The
yeah,
lava lamp?
yeah.
The lava lamp?
It's
Yeah,
not
that's my
album,
favorite
right?
song. That's one of my favorite songs right there, is that Lava Lamp. Is Hiroshi Sato's Awakening. It's a Japanese city pop album, so even
Ooh,
that I
okay.
love getting into that is like that is also, a subgenre of R&B. So really like all its forms, but really like whenever someone asks like what is your favorite type of music to listen to, I'm just like the shit I
Okay.
like, like
And that's the
like
thing too. I want to make that question like very distinctive. Like, what's your genre? Like you want to make your music about genre. Like I don't want it to talk about just like your favorite artists because it's
yeah,
very
yeah,
like
yeah.
one sided. Like oh, I like this band. That's it. Like
This,
what genre
this,
gets you like into the zone? I guess that's the way I'm looking at it as.
For sure. Yeah.
this
Okay.
feels
I got to
like
think about that a little bit more, like a specific. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, Ray, do you have something?
Like NWA type thing where he's in that zone and Dr. Dre's like vibing to that music. That's the
I
type.
got you.
Yeah.
uh, I was about to say this feels like a what's your zodiac kind of sign, you know? Like,
No, 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 no,
well,
no.
well, the month you're born should correlate with what you listen to, by the way.
No.
Um, Kind of, going off of Chesco, kind of really the same thing. It started off with like 90s R&B. Um, Slowly but surely started getting into grunge music. Like dad rock, as people say. Um, Kind of, I don't know what you call it, but like that. I don't know if you've seen Avatar. I know, uh, if or Cougar, my bad. You've
Mr.
seen the
CC.
Airbender. CC, there you go.
DC, yeah.
CC, you've seen the Airbender. You kind of put me on, and like that, the music, the instrumentals, is something like I've been slowly getting into because it's like calming. There's so many emotions you could tell through that. Um, I don't. I'm all over the place, really,
Just say
but
the weekend, bro. Just say the
yeah.
weekend. I can see it in your face. You want to say the weekend so badly.
But yeah, I mean, the weekend, his latest album, Pop. What'd you
Boom.
say, Pop? What'd you say, Pop?
Okay, so just to like super quickly, I have a lot of thoughts on it. Pop to me isn't a genre. Pop is just like what people
Okay.
they label things that are meant to be sent out to a lot of people. But for me, it's like R&B mixed with like alternative elements of different genres. But yeah, to me personally, that's just like not to get too into it. I have a whole hour video where I talk about it. But yeah, to me, pop isn't a genre. But if you were to classify it, sure, it's like a mix of a bunch of genres that make pop. But yeah, yeah, banger. Hurry up tomorrow.
Hurry up
Absolute
tomorrow.
banger
Just
album.
just listen to that banger. But just like kind of like anything really. 50s, 60s style of music, genre, that rock, I guess rockabilly or whatever that time period was for that music. Just
Yeah.
but the main ones probably just dad rock and anything by the weekend.
Yeah, okay, so now thinking about it, I do have a more
Specific.
Specific answer, yeah. Um, Def Rebel, exclusively Def Rebel
No, this is
music.
crazy. That's a crazy pick. That's a
What?
real
That's the
crazy
best
pick.
one. What do you mean?
Oh
It's
no,
so crazy that it works.
I'm hanging up now. I gotta
You
go.
know, don't you just want to hear, don't you want to just hear music that silences a whole crowd?
Dude, I feel bad for Zelina Vega because she can be a very big star, and that theme song is
They're
horrible.
doing her dirty. I'm sorry. They're doing her dirty.
That first entrance, I just think of that Roman clip. Yeah, no pop. That, to me,
Dude,
I think about that every time it gets awkwardly silent. I
I,
just
s-
want that clip to be played.
I quote that so much, especially I think that same time she came out, I was like, no pop, like nothing.
Yeah,
It
which
was
is
just like
sad, man. Zelina is
I, I,
great.
I was like, Nicki Minaj is in WWE. What the heck? I was like, you hear it, and I'm just
It's
like,
so wild. It's wild. It was really
It's
wild.
wild.
I can't.
Yeah, but to give you a more another answer, not to say that is an answer, but another answer, island reggae. That's been my vibe
oh, okay.
lately.
Oh,
Is I'll listen to that ska reggae is great too. Just everything in that realm lately has been the stuff that I use to sort of like get into a productive, more upbeat vibe. Because similarly, if I listen to The Weeknd as well, but sometimes his music be making me feel stuff that I'm like, it is 11 a.m. I have a whole outline to write. I don't think I can feel this way right now. So yeah, reggae music is my vibe. How about you? How about you, Mr. CC?
um, going back to Ray, I'm a big I like dad rock, but I'm a big grunge person. I love Alice in Chains. I love Audio Slave. I love a lot of Mother Love Mother Love Bones, I believe, which a lot of people don't like. Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Temple of the Dog, Soundgarden.
Creed?
Those are all my favorite
Is
bands.
Creed
Oh,
gonna be on
word.
there too? I know it's not
Creed is
grunge.
great. I love Creed. Don't get me wrong, but I don't consider them grunge music. They're more
Yeah,
like
dad
I
rock
guess
or
yeah, dad
divorced
rock
dad rock,
alternative.
whatever it's called nowadays.
But yeah, I'm a big grunge guy. Like my one of my main goals is to live in Seattle and just let it rain and listen to Alice in Chains all day and Nirvana and because that's the grunge movie. Even though they hate that's what it's called is grunge music. But honestly, too lately I've been getting more into like I want to say like more Dominic Fike and more Wallows, more indie music, which I know like those are great bands and that's a great artist too. Like I don't know how to describe that music, but that music makes me feel like I'm at peace with myself. I'm not so angry.
Hmm.
That's kind of where I'm at too. I was about to say like that indie music where it's kind of slow, kind of like I guess you could say hollow, like that kind of music has been
Spacey.
something. Yeah, like it's whatever that genre is, just give it in my veins. Just give it to me all right there.
But I'm also a big like he was saying a big Japanese city. I love was it they call it J-pop
Okay.
in
Yeah.
Japan. I like
Yeah.
J-pop. I like those. I like the beats. I love the songs. It's just very relaxing to me as well.
Quick,
It's a
somebody
lot
clip
of
this picture.
oh my hair. I know, right? I need a
We
haircut.
got
That's
we
why I
got
keep
the
kind of like
Wolverine.
We got
yeah.
the
They
thumbnail, guys. We got the thumbnail.
I want
I
someone to
know.
edit you as one of the Wolverines that they visit in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie when
They're
they're
gonna make
sitting
me the
around
short
talking.
one. They're gonna make me the short one. That'll be scary. I hate that
You're
one.
wearing the shirt. You're wearing the shirt. Might as
Oh, the
well.
white T-shirt.
Yeah.
This is a white tee. I
You
wear
just
this
gotta
every
have a
day.
dog tag. You gotta have a little dog tag, and you'll be good to go.
Believe it or not, I'm not the. I like Wolverine, but he's not my favorite X-Men. No, that's the craziest thing of all.
And it's funny that you say that because my question
Is it leading? Is
is
it leading to
is
this?
are you guys a virgin? No,
Oh
it's
no,
it's
definitely not.
it's
No,
it's
Remember, Blue Chew.
blue chew it, do it, lose your virginity and get hard.
no, I try to keep
We
my word
just
on my mouth, bro.
we just lost every single potential.
Yep, everybody just unsubscribed.
They're like,
Sorry.
nope,
Like
not coming back.
CC just lost his Netflix bag, and you
You see what you
know.
did, Ray?
See, this is it's already turning, man. Episode 1, it's already turning.
The
You're
unbelief.
getting sent to jail.
My question is, if you could live the life of any comic book character,
Oh,
you get their
Man,
powers, you
the
get their
West is so dark.
storylines. Was that? No, I know. Yeah. So that's part of it too. Is like which storylines would you want to be a part of? Like
Oh
for
my
example,
god.
God knows I don't think I would want to be Spider-Man in this question because
No.
he's just eternally fated to be single,
Hurt.
alone,
Yeah.
depressed. His girlfriend is for some reason Venom now, or
Do
is
we want to
the love of
be
his
like
life.
Daredevil too? Because dude, getting blind
I
at that
am
young age.
Daredevil.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Also, before we get into that, did y'all see the episode?
Oh yeah, that episode was great.
Look, man, I didn't want to turn it into a 3 hour episode, but here we are. Fuck it.
We're
You
getting
know
there.
We
what?
We're
we
Fuck
might have
it.
we might have to wait on this one. This might be a whole conversation for next time
now because
because
I think next week's the finale.
Shit, next
we
week would be
can.
the finale. You know what? Fuck it. My question is, what do you guys think about the episode?
Oh
Oh,
Jesus Christ! I don't want to do this.
Whereas midnight,
you're in
we're
it
still
now.
just like we're just breaking down diagrams of Daredevil Born Again. Because, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, hold up. I have something for this.
Five
Diddly
minutes.
diddly diddly duh, diddly 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 duh. Diddly 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 duh. We're going into DD mode, baby. Very quick.
Yes, but
Well, so
what did we
actually,
post?
what
What
was
did we
that?
post about it? Daredevil. We're forgive me, Father, for I have sinned for the person I'm about to become when the show comes back. Because we've all changed into Matt Murdock as soon as the show came back.
I am working on a video essay about Daredevil Born Again. I'm gonna go through all the shit. So this is I guess more so just like reactionary. We're all caught up. Ray, you're all caught up.
Yep.
I know Mr. CC's all caught up. Uh goddamn, that was peak, huh? That was some
Those last minutes, bro. I
I
was
I
sweating.
I want to talk about the episode, but do you see that? I've heard that the directors changed on this last episode and the finale too. Like one through
yeah.
seven was directed by somebody different, or yeah, one through seven and eight and nine are directed by the writers of season two.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
I can break it down real quick. So it's like because I actually was just writing this before I got here was um the whole thing was that there was a version of the show that wasn't connected at all to the Netflix series. You know what? Fuck it. Spoiler alert! Spoiler! If you haven't watched Daredevil Born Again, or
Watch it now.
and if you care, yeah, why? Just like why would you not be watching an amazing show?
Right.
Uh, it basically Foggy was already dead. The show just starts with that. It's like a year later, Foggy's already dead, and you kind of there's a mystery as to why, but there was like a writer's strike in 2023, and during that time Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox kind of came together and they're like, this show isn't doing what it needs to do. And fortunately Kevin Feige was like, cool, I agree, this is not where it needs to be. And they sort of overhauled it. They brought in a new showrunner he did the original Punisher series on Netflix.
Mm.
And then they brought in these two directors who you were talking about, Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. And they did the first episode, and then they're doing 8 and 9. So how it works was like first two episodes were new, entirely new stuff, and then they kind of just moved everything, like shifted everything a couple episodes forward. So episode two is now like 3 or 4, and there are parts of different episodes that kind of were stitched into other episodes, different things like that. So yeah, it's all like a Frankenstein mess, and somehow it came together to make a show that is like coherent and pretty good. Yeah, that's my TED Talk. What did y'all think?
I like the best thing about those new writers that I've noticed too, which I watched Sammy J Reacts talk about this, or who was it? But if you notice too, when Bullseye or Poindexter locks in to his mode of him like pinpointing somebody, that entire filter on the camera lens just turns blue.
Yep.
Like he
Yeah,
locks in. And I think that's a cool thing to add for Bullseye because it just feels like he's just throwing stuff at people originally, which was like cool. Yeah, that's Bullseye. Well, that blue filter, it makes it feel like more of a superhero show. It makes it feel like, oh
yeah,
crap, he's in like a whole different state. That's why he's able to actually kill you and get you out. Because I like Bullseye. I just think he was missing something. I think that's what was missing was that part, making him
It's
so
sort of
superhuman.
it feels like for me, the Netflix series is like the origin story for each of these characters. And now with Born Again, they are these characters. It's the Kingpin, it's Daredevil, it's Bullseye. I think Punisher actually says like, "Oh, you're messing with Bullseye," and it's like, "Yo, they have some history together." It's just crazy to think about. And yeah, and funny enough, so you mentioned the filter. It's actually there. I was watching an interview with it was BD, Brandon Davis,
Hey, shout out.
and he had an interview with them, and they said that that's all in camera. It's no filter.
Yep.
It's the lighting that they did. They had like it's like one of these things that I have where you can
That's
change
even
the
more
color.
smarter too. That's like
Yeah.
even more like organic and more original. Like you don't like I know you're putting that over the screen, but that's still cool to see. Like even think about like damn,
Hmm.
they're on a different level coming up with Bullseye because Bullseye's I don't know, he's so fucking cool. Like I'm not supporting what he's done because he's killed our boy Foggy, but it's about us. It's cool. It's cool to see a villain like because we got fucking cucked with fucking Muse.
That yeah, okay, so that was interesting. Episode 7 was quite
I think
the
he's still
slight
alive.
downtick. Yeah, Muse. I hope so, because he was Marvel's just got to stop killing villains, bro. We got to have
They
people
do.
like Bullseye is the number one example of what happens when you keep a character around and you get to build off their storylines. But yeah, Ray, would you just curious, what do you think about just like what do you think about this whole season and sort of like where obviously we know where we're going.
Right.
Set photos have come out of just just the most beautiful Daredevil suit you've ever
The
see.
black suit. Sorry, I
Oh,
had to say it.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
fucking great. It was just so great.
Just just unanimously the best
Oh,
suit. Um, what do you feel about sort of this journey he's taken the character and where it's gone? Because I know a lot of people complained about how there's like a very long lull where, you don't get to see Daredevil, you just see Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
But how have you felt about just sort of the progression of the season?
I think it's been great. Of course, the show is called Born Again. So obviously we see like the first couple episodes after losing Foggy and kind of giving in to that, I guess you could say that temptation of killing Poindexter. We don't see Daredevil because he's not that guy anymore. He killed somebody as Daredevil. He doesn't want to be that anymore. So kind of seeing the episodes where we see his law side, which I think was great. I forget what episode it was. They're in the courtroom. I think it was with the I forget his
White
name, the
Tiger,
character.
Hector
White Tiger.
Ayala.
There you go. Just seeing
Oh,
that,
great
I was
episode.
chills. I felt like I was watching something completely different than Daredevil. I was like, yeah, I was like, give this to me. And then it comes down to that moment where he finally needs to become that hero again when I forget the niece's name.
BB?
No.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
well the
Who's
niece,
yeah, I forget her
fantastic.
name too. Yeah,
yeah, well her, the niece for White Tiger. I think the niece, the daughter, I forget. Um when he
which they keep
finally
after.
right. When it finally comes down to that moment where he needs to be Daredevil, we finally get that like, okay, he's born again. And just like Kingpin, he tried to put his past aside, tried to be the mayor. We even get a name drop of Spider-Man in there. Like, okay, you think, oh, he's gonna turn a new leaf. A couple episodes later, we see, nope, he's still that guy, just with more power. But this latest episode, man, like just seeing the the tension, especially that last minute where they're tango dancing, and then Fisk is like, you know who Matt is, right? Like, who
Mm.
is that night? I was like, dude. But I
Well,
think
keep going,
uh
Ray. Sorry, keep going.
one of my favorite lines that a lot of people bring up is when Matt goes to the jail and he's talking with Poindexter and he's like, you would protect me because I'm your worst enemy, right? That's what a man does. And it's kind of poetic because who does Daredevil protect? In that last minute,
His worst
Fisk,
enemy.
his worst enemy. Just And the lighting in here, man, don't get me started with that. Like that first episode where you see Fisk, I think he's all in white. It goes to Matt, flashing red, his
Mm,
face half. Oh,
What I like about what you're saying is that we go back to the original series of the episode where Fisk and I think Vanessa are getting married or something along the lines,
yeah,
and then Bullseye is like there in the Matt suit, and he's kind of like that was a lot of reminiscence of that scene from that
right.
moment when they're all in that ballroom. I think these three characters are going to be entangled with each other more than we like to think because we think we're trying to figure out who the big bad villain of the season is. But I think, sorry, choking on my water here.
Bullseye got him.
Call it Bullseye got me. We're going to be entangled with these characters for a very long time. Fisk, Poindexter, and Matt. And I think the fans are going to be in a treat because those three characters hate the crap out of each other in the comics.
Yeah.
Like they do not like each other, and I think my other Daredevil fan can help me out on that one too. He knows what I'm talking about on this aspect of things. But the hate for them is it's crazy to see how they connect again in that last episode. Like it's poetic in a way. Like all three men have gone through their share of torment, pain, torture, whatever you want to call it. And then they come back together and you're like, holy crap, these two are going to pretty much do this forever.
it's that
Matt
scene from The Dark
Poindexter.
Knight. It's that scene from
Yeah,
The Dark Knight. We're going to do
yeah.
this dance for as long as we live and until one of us breaks. And that's
Yep.
sort of like that's going to be such a turning point when if that ever gets to that point. But no, oh man, I swear to God, this could be a 4-hour podcast if we needed to. But I'll be quick and just the lighting. Yeah, that was so from the one really cool aspect that the directors mentioned in these interviews is, of course, there's that scene where how we start off this whole season is a motherfucking foggy, rest in peace, our king, our king, is they were mentioning how the camera movement is super methodical with this season or with Daredevil Born Again in terms of just a couple quick examples before the big example is Daredevil. His world is very like shaky and he's always very unstable. So his cameras is always like handheld and moving and sometimes a little shaky. Whereas Kingpin, he's always about order and control. So his are very like standstill shots, and slow pans and all this stuff. And Bullseye, yeah, you got the lighting, that's really cool. Also, like just like very off-putting angles. Like I think of that super close up of him as he grabs the teeth out of
Oof.
his. Ooh, yeah,
I'm scared of Bullseye. Like when he
you
pops up on screen, I'm scared of that dude. Like I'm not scared of Fisk. I get more irritated with Fisk, but when Poindexter is on that screen and he's coming towards you, you're like, oh fuck.
when
Like
I see
It's
you're
pictures of
done.
it's game
him,
over.
when I see pictures of the guy on set, I'm like, oh, good on you for taking photos with him because I'd be terrified to walk up to him and say something wrong. But from what I can tell, he's a nice guy. But
He's coming to San
yeah.
Antonio, actually. All three of them.
Oh, where? Wait, all three of them? What do you mean all three of them?
Fisk,
Daredevil, Fisk, and
Poindexter, Bullseye.
Charlie
Poindexter.
Cox, the Englishman, is from San Antonio.
No, they're coming to San Antonio.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I don't know
for
if it's the
Space
San
One.
Antonio one, but I saw they're also doing a panel. It's like the greatest collection of people I've seen. It's like Andrew Garfield, Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Grant Gustin all doing
Dude,
one panel
that'll be a good
together.
one.
I'm like, yo, that is sick. But
We got Andrew a couple years ago with
I think it was 2023.
yeah, with Elizabeth Olsen
Yeah,
oh, that's
because
sick.
and Haley
last year,
Steinfeld, bro. Oof.
yeah, no, she a baddie right there. Her and Sabrina Carpenter, Jesus.
That is
I
going
said
to
what
be
I
a
said.
sharpshooter segment for another day. Ooh. But anyways, real quick,
Oh,
just super broad point on Daredevil Born Again. What I have here is the full omnibus of the Daredevil Born Again comic run. It actually is the most recent print. It's got like a foreword from Charlie Cox, and he writes a little bit about it. But read this recently, read it for the first time recently, and a lot of that book is like him spiraling and sort of like at one point he gets so paranoid and terrified of people because like his whole world is crashing down. His job, he got disbarred as a lawyer. The IRS is coming for is evicting him and taking away everything he's got because he's got nothing to show for it in terms of his payments, all because of Fisk, right? And at one point he's just on the phone talking to what we think is Foggy, and then you realize like he's not on the phone with anybody. He's just going crazy. And to me, that last episode, episode 8, where you kind of see from Heather's perspective of like you're kind of crazy, you're kind of whack, and obviously us knowing Matt and knowing he's 100% on the nose with everything, you're like, oh yeah, but to see that sort of element of like this is the guy we love, but he's fucking going crazy right now. Like he
Yeah,
is
Matt
like,
is like leaking out anger, like frustration, anger. I think everything he's
yeah,
felt with Foggy is coming out, and you can feel it. Like I was like, Matt, calm yourself, like chill out,
chill the
bro.
fuck out, dude.
Like
Like
act civil. Like you can't
you're
act like
right.
this right now.
Like you're
And
right, but also like chill,
Like
you
it's
not
know?
now. This is
crazy.
not the time and place for this.
It's
Like
crazy because you could compare the Netflix series and to this, like their versions. Like had this situation happened in the Netflix series, I think he would have been civil, just like in that moment in time, like to make sure his cover doesn't blow. So I like that they kind of give him that growth. Like of course, losing Foggy, anybody that loses somebody, they're gonna have a lot of repressed feelings, and one little thing can set them off. And
You
I mean,
know,
Fisk is the guy to do that for him.
yeah,
and that's a great point. You bring up the Netflix series because I think season 3 is like what happens when he is crashing out, but he does have his friends as his moral compass because they really like bring him back in a big way. Meanwhile, in this one, obviously Foggy is,
yeah.
quote unquote dead, quote
And
unquote
then
dead,
and then
allegedly.
Karen left.
Yeah, Karen left for San Francisco, and
Which is a
so
really bad way to exit Karen's character. I mean, she's alive, but like I think with these new people too, they have no like character development for me to care for them. For Matt,
yeah,
like
yeah,
we grew up with Karen and Foggy. Yeah,
Yeah.
Cherry, man, he's literally just Mahoney. He's literally just Mahoney, but not Mahoney. So when
yeah,
lines like oh, back when you were on the force, you would have been calling me. That line doesn't hit as hard as if it was Mahoney, and
Yeah.
it's just the history isn't there. So I
BB
agree,
though, BB, her character, man, I gotta
especially the
say,
last episode, especially the last
yes.
episode when you find out, oh, she knew about this whole thing. She's playing for, yeah, yeah. Okay, who are the side characters that you dig and the side characters that are kind of bleh? It's
Oh,
like there's
I
Kirsten,
like Heather.
Heather. I like Heather too.
I like Heather. I think she's a very different girl for Matt to date, and she doesn't see the world like Matt does in a way.
right.
She sees it in what's black and white. Well, Matt sees it the gray in the world. No pun intended because he can't see, but that's not the point. But she sees the gray in the world, and I think a lot of people, it's something that Matt's never really faced. He's dated someone that's been darker than him, that's been through much, like Electra.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's dated someone that has powers that's stronger than him, but she's very much bubbly, a little more optimistic, which is of course She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters. Then you have someone like Karen that's been through it as well, but I'm not trying to say these women characters are not strong, but they're not as strong as Heather has been for him. She's very much like in your
She
face.
checks him. She checks him
Yeah,
because she's a
she's
therapist.
very
She knows the
yeah.
scientific reason. Like she says, he's an underdeveloped boy, and not him directly, but
Yeah,
Daredevil.
like
Yeah,
Karen, Jennifer, like they all kind of just look at Matt like, okay, he's gonna do what he's gonna do. But Heather's kind of more like, you're gonna listen to what I'm saying, and if you don't like it, that's not my problem. And that's the
yeah.
vibe I pick up from her. That's which I think I like her more for. But don't get me wrong, I love Electra. I think Electra was the closest one to it. But but
Basically, he has Riz. Basically,
I mean, you saw what he was
He,
doing to that girl, the
as
yeah.
other
far as
attorney.
yeah, man. As far as oh my God, that was the slickest scene. I'll say this, man. Charlie Cox, he deserves like 15 Emmys for what he's been doing for retroactively what he did with the original Netflix series, but also what he's doing now, because the writing has been
Here
uh
and there. Hit or miss.
it goes from
Yeah.
great to like this could be better. I
Yeah.
find myself kind of like, ooh, this could be developed better. But Charlie Cox, he just sells it all. Same with Vincent D'Onofrio, and there's
Can
a
we
couple
get more
more.
superhero shows get nominated for like awards like that? Because like
Bro,
they
I
deserve
would.
it.
They deserve it.
Invincible would be a great one.
And then I don't want anything against Invincible because I can go on and talk about that show for 24/7. I read the
I gotta catch up
comics.
with y'all. I gotta catch up
Yeah,
with season three. I haven't watched season three. I watched one and two, but from what I hear, three is it's a little
it's a
chef
good season.
smooch.
Yeah, it's a really good season, and people
Word.
it's like one slow episode, but like besides that, it's great.
You gotta be like, I want, and then put the title card right there.
Dude, I tried doing
Uh,
that. I tried doing that filter on TikTok like 400 times. It never worked for me. So I was kind of like, I'm done with this.
It's because you
there's a
weren't. Place the title card.
Invincible. Yeah.
they just get an awkward pause and then the title card comes up. Is that what goes down? But anyways, look, we literally could do this all day, but we
We
will spare
can.
you guys the details.
I feel
We
bad for you
will.
cutting
No,
and editing this.
I promise I'm barely cutting shit. Like, there's gonna be little bits here and there, but I think this was pretty smooth. I don't think there's anything too much. But anyways, what I will say is we had a hell of an episode next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got WrestleMania 41 predictions. We're gonna write them up. We're gonna lock them in, and we're gonna do our thing. And then the week after Mania, we're gonna hold ourselves accountable and see who got what. And CC is probably gonna roast Ray, no matter how this shakes out. We got
Unfortunately.
the
One thing about us, we always have
Daredevil.
beef. We always got
Okay,
beef.
so real quick, just to let someone in on the sort of inside conversations here, this whole thing ends. The series finale of this ends in a steel cage match.
Oh
Me,
yeah.
special guest referee, Mr. CC on the one end, Ray Carter on the other.
Matt's gonna be my we call it my Lana, my my Paul Heyman.
Oh, your manager? He's gonna be
Yeah,
your
he's my
manager.
manager. He's gonna be
Your valet?
my valet. He's gonna be like that. Then he's gonna turn on me to join Ray. Watch.
Oh,
That's gonna
oh.
happen, buddy. I'm sorry.
So that is just, it's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. That is the series finale of this whole podcast. But yeah, we got that. We got the Daredevil Born Again finale. You're always going to come in. That's going to be like 3 hours right there. You can always expect
Yeah.
Sharpshooter segment as per usual. But as for right now, I think that'll do it for here. You got the introductions, all that stuff. So yeah, man. Any last things you want to say to the Kayfabe and chill to the Ravers?
To the Ravers.
Nothing
Shout
to add.
out. I'm gonna get clipped on this probably in the future. Shout out Luca and the Lakers for beating Dallas. They beat them in Dallas. Luca dropped 45, made my homie cry with that goodbye, even though they didn't need to trade him. They didn't need to trade him, Ravers.
The
You
most
heard it here
wildest
first.
moment ever of NBA history, man. It's
Oh,
wild.
that's crazy. Also, before CC closes us out, I just want to say, Ray, fuck you for being for I got first place in our fantasy basketball league,
Man,
and
Holy crap! Dude, I forgot.
I stopped Ray from finishing his story.
Good.
Fuck out of here.
He was
you
getting
know
too
what?
cocky. He was getting too cocky in that thing.
This is next year's WrestleMania. Make it a triple threat. Us three.
I've been
Ray,
down.
you're losing big time now.
Wait, if we got
Also, Chesko,
was it?
you're lucky right now. Let me see.
Are you about to dox me? Oh, okay.
You're lucky right now.
I thought you was about to pull up my address real quick.
Cut that out. Cut that out.
You're real lucky, Chesko. But yeah, man, hey, man, I guess I don't know what it is, but we're just winning. We're just winning on your teams, man.
Look, if we were healthy, Victor Wemba or Victor
Whatever. You play
and
the team in
Fox.
front of you. You play the team in front of you. So that's the Ravers. How about the Cougar Club? Mr. CC, you got anything you want to leave the Cougar Club with?
Not much. I hope y'all like the podcast. I know we talk a lot. We're just nerds, and we love it. Don't listen to Ray. Ray's never right. That's the one
listen
we're
to
gonna
me.
put in there. Never
Listen to
listen
me.
to him. But yeah, we're gonna have a good podcast next week. Please come in, listen to us. We're gonna talk about, like he said, WrestleMania and stuff, and many more things about music too. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. And the Ravers out.
See ya.